Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review slash recap on Love During Lockup. This is season 3, episode 66. It's titled By Felicia. It should be titled Release, 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 because I think 3 inmates got released, right? Let's get started. I'm wearing my turban because my hair is not done. So I'm wearing a turban. It's so cute. I love it. Anyway. First couple is, I got all the lights out in the room, so I probably won't be able to see my notes. Anyway, first person is, we're doing Santiba and Telsa. Okay, so Santiba and her mother are shopping for clothes for Telsa. Santiba wants Telsa to have clothes for when he gets out of prison. Santiba tells her mother that she talked to Telsa a couple of days ago, and he had trouble with his release paperwork, and he's getting out in a couple of weeks. Santiba calls Telsa's mother to confirm the size of Telsa's neck or whatever, because she's buying him shirts. She tells his mother that she's shopping for him, and his mother tells her that Telsa got out of prison. She tells his mother she's shopping for him so he can have clothes for when he gets out of prison. And the mother says he's already out of prison. And she says he's been out for a couple of days now. She also tells Santiba that Telsa is with another girl. Wow. I knew that. That's why he was postponing his release with her, because he was going to get out and have some other girl, because she kept insisting that she was going to come get him. He told her not to come get him out of prison when they released him, and she kept insisting that she was coming. So he had to lie to her and tell her, look, my paperwork is messed up, so now my date's been pushed out. My release date has been pushed back. He had to lie to her because he told her, don't come pick me up, and she's like, I'm coming anyway. So he had to lie to her. What else was he supposed to do? Anywho, Santiba asked his mother if Telsa was talking to this girl the whole time. And the mother said, I don't know. How is she supposed to know? She's like, I don't know about this girl. Santiba walks out. She's upset now. She walks out of the store. The cameraman is following her. And she's telling them, don't follow me. Give me some time. No, you signed up for the show to record your life. And that's what they're doing. I hate when they get upset and then they don't want the cameraman to record them anymore. You signed a contract for them to record your life, for us to see, the viewers to see. So you can't just change your mind and say, oh, I don't want to be filmed. I don't want to be filmed right now because I'm going through too much. No, forget that. We got to see. This is what we paid to see. This is what we pay cable TV to see. What are you talking about, girl? And this is what you're paid for. Anywho, Santiba is in her car and she's driving, and she's upset, and she says she has an empty feeling in her chest. And she's saying how she defended him to her friends and how she should have listened to her friends. And she said she made a big mistake. You think? Blah, 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 blah. Then she said this is the worst thing that anyone has ever done to her. She says she's embarrassed. So then her friend Kim calls and she tells her friend that Telsa was released and another girl picked him up. And she tells Kim to rally up all the girls that she was coming over. So she gets to her friend's house and they're all outside drinking wine. And she tells them again what happened. So they decide to look at his Facebook. Santiba tried to look at his Facebook page, Telsa's Facebook page on her phone, and she wasn't able to. So her friend said, oh, he blocked you. That's just another icing on the cake, poor baby. So her friend went and got her laptop, and they pulled him up, and they see him on Facebook with all hugged up and smiling with another woman, a pretty woman. And her friend yells out, oh, she's cute. Really? Did you have to say that? Say it in your mind. Don't say it out your mouth. The poor girl's already going through a rough day. And on the page, it says that Telsa and the girl are engaged. Poor Santiba, she's having the worst day of her life. Then they find the phone number to the fiance. And they want Santiba to call the number, but Santiba said, I just want to move on. But the friend's like, no, don't do that. Don't move on. Let's call the number. So Santiba gave her the go ahead to call the number. She called the number for some reason. I don't know what happened. I think the number didn't go through or something. I don't know what happened with that. But that was the end of Santiba and Telsa. Next we have Ty and Hardy. Okay. So we see Ty, she's outside a funeral home, and she calls Boston, and she gave Boston the address to the funeral home. She's gonna meet the girl outside of her job. Anyway, she gave Boston the number to the funeral home, and Boston says she's on her way. I don't know if Ty planned on fighting Boston or not, but she's not dressed to fight. She is wearing these big old clogged shoes, thick heel shoes. They look like clogs with open toe, and tight-fitting hip-hugging pants, bell-bottom pants, and she's wearing a little tiny top showing her belly and showing her boobs. She's not fit to fight, and she got these big hoop earrings in her ears, and she have her long weaved all the way down her back. She's not dressed to fight. So Boston walks up and says, hello, how are you? And she's smiling like they're friends. This damn thing falling on me. Stop falling on me, stupid. Anyway. Yeah, and she's like, hi, how are you? Like they're friends. And Ty says to her, your name is Boston? And before Boston could barely say, yes, I'm Boston, Ty lunges at her and tries to slap her. I'm not going to say she tried to punch her because I don't think she even made a fist. And they each took a few slap at each other. And then Ty kicks off her shoes and said, come on. And they try slapping each other again. I don't think anybody threw a punch. They were fighting like this. Basically. That's how they were fighting to me. And some lady, I think maybe it was the producer, she got in between them and said, stop it. In her confessional, Ty said she was wailing on that ass. No, you weren't. Anywho, they slapped each other up a couple of times. And then they started arguing over Hardy. And then they cussed each other out. And then eventually they went their separate ways. That was it. And Ty told the producer that she broke 3 nails. And the producer asked her if it was worth it. And she said yes. And Ty says she snapped. And then she thinks she broke her wrist. And that was the end of Ty and Hardy and Boston. Next we have Indy and Harry. Oh gosh, poor Indy. Okay. So it is the night before Harry's release. Indy is packing a bag for him. She has t-shirt, she has toothbrush, toothpaste, a phone, and a charger so that he can keep in touch with her. And she has 2 wedding bands. She says she's going to tell the people at the halfway house that she is his wife. So, the way the release is supposed to go is Harry is supposed to get into a van and they're supposed to drive him to the halfway house. I don't like this light. Just pull back a little bit. Showing all my wrinkles and creases and stuff. That don't look good. Anywho. Okay. So Harry, they're going to put him in a van at the prison and then drive him to the halfway house. That's how that's supposed to work. Okay, so she's talking to Harry on the phone and she tells Harry that she bought them wedding bands. And he's trying to tell her the plans for the next day. I don't know what he was talking about, man. He's saying that, dress him in grays. He was telling her about how he was going to be dressed. And then she told him that she's going to be all dressed up too. And they can't wait to see each other. And then the phone told them they had a minute left. So they said their lovey-dovey goodbyes. I love you, goodbye. And then we see Indy. Is that her name? Indy. She puts the ring on her finger when she gets off the phone with him, but she puts it on the wrong hand. The ring goes on the left hand, Indy. I know, I've been married twice. Anyway, So it's 4 hours before the release. I guess maybe it's the next day or whatever. And it's 4 hours before the release. Indy gets her mother opinion on what to wear. Eyelash falling off again. Feels like it is. Anyway. Indy said that Harry will be getting into a van and they will drive him to the halfway house. We all know that. So Harry calls her. Why do I have Henry down here? Harry calls her and he's telling her basically that he may not be able to see her. He said something about he has to do orientation. After he gets out of the van and gets to the halfway house, he has to do orientation. So he's basically telling her that he may not be able to see her. And I think it goes right over her head, because she tells him that I don't care how long I have to wait as long as I get to see you today. And I think that's what he was trying to tell her. After I get into the van, they drop me at the halfway house, I have orientation. So I don't know if I'll be able to see you today. He didn't say those words, but I think that's what he's trying to tell her. But anyway, so it's 1 hour until his release, and Indy and her mom gets in the car and they drive out to the correctional facilities. I don't even know if that's where he's locked up, but that's where they drove out to. And the mother is driving. Indy's in the passenger side, and Indy is on the phone with Harry, and he seems like he's trying to direct her as to where to go. He said, "You see that building right there?" It's like he's trying to direct her where to go, but they can't find him. They can't see him. Even the mother took out her binoculars. They still couldn't find him. In her confessional, Indy says that she hopes her mother, when her and Harry sees each other, she hopes her mother sees the current connection that they have, and she'll stop. She'll be less bitchy towards her. Why do these daughters think they can just cuss their mothers out and call them all kinds of names? Why do they think that's an okay thing to do? I don't get it. So yeah, the mother gets her binoculars out and she's looking. She can't find Harry. So they tell the producers that they're gonna go to the halfway house, and maybe they can catch him when he pulls up and gets out of the van to get into the halfway house. They're just going to get a little sneak peek of him. I don't know what they plan on doing. Yelling, "Hey, Harry, here we are over here." What are they planning on doing? I don't understand what they're planning on doing. Anywho, so they tell the producers they're going to the halfway house. So on the way to the halfway house, the mother told Indy to call the halfway house. So she calls the halfway house and she goes, "I'm Indy. My fiance's being released and he's coming there to your halfway house. Is there any way I can see him today?" And they go, "Oh, no visitations because of COVID, no visitation." She was like, they said he's allowed 3 phone calls. So Indy said, "But I have a COVID test. Even though I have a COVID test, I still can't see him." They said, "No." So the mother asked to speak with a supervisor. And then they're telling the person on the phone, we drove all the way from Maryland. So the person put his supervisor on the phone. And the supervisor reiterates the same thing the other person said. No visitation because of COVID. And they don't know when the visitation will start again. Will be open again. They said they can't even visit him today. Their mother asked if they can see him before he goes into the halfway house. Maybe they answered her, maybe they didn't. I didn't hear them answer her. But of course the answer is no. But don't they understand no visitations? So Indy asked if he will get a day or a week pass, or in week passes. And they said no. They told her that the only pass he'll get is in 30 days. I think that's what they say. In 30 days when he goes job searching. That's when he'll get a pass to go job searching. Not to go frolic around with you, Indy. To go search for a job. So Indy gets off the phone and she has a complete meltdown. She acts like she wants to scream. Goes, she acts like she wanted to scream. She just throws a tantrum. And then she wants to punch. Act like she wants to punch when she goes, "Ooh." She acts like she wants to punch the windshield or punch the camera. I don't know what she's losing it. She's freaking out because she can't see Harry. And her poor mother is driving and she said, Mom, get the camera, get them down. she wants her mother to get the cameras down. Her mother is driving. You take the cameras down. You're sitting in the passenger side. She's a spoiled little brat. And then she tells her mother to put the windows up because she didn't want the people who was filming to be able to film her. Then she puts her head down and she just starts to cry. And the mother is just sitting there doing this, picking her nails. And you know what that tells me? That tells me that she does this all the time. She's done this before, and the way to handle it is just to leave her alone and let her calm down all on her own, and then things will get back to normal. Because the mother is like this. She's just waiting for the episode to be over with so things can get back to normal. That tells me that she does this all the time. This is what she does. And that is the end of Indy and Harry. And I see previews of Love After Lockup, and it looks like her and Harry are gonna be on Love After Lockup. I want Gabby and what's his name, Chris, to be on Love After Lockup. Yeah. So next, Gabby. Speaking about Gabby and Chris, here they are. They're next. So Gabby, we see her driving, and she's on her way to meet Chris' mother and sister. Gabby said she hasn't heard from Chris, and she doesn't know what's going on, and she needs answers. So when she pulls up, when she's parking, she gets a call from an inmate who is a friend of Chris. And the friend says, I couldn't even understand or hear what I was trying to read on TV what the friend was saying, but his English I wasn't understanding him. Maybe my English is too bad, or maybe his English is too bad. Maybe both our English too bad, and I couldn't understand what he was talking about. But he said, I heard what he was saying, I just didn't understand what he meant. I guess it's prison talk. I don't know. He said, the friend says that Chris says he loves Gabby, and Chris is downstate. What is downstate? Is downstate another prison? What is downstate? I don't know what that is. But he says Chris is downstate, waiting on the feds. What feds? The cops? What are the feds? The feds are the cops? He's downstate waiting on the feds. He said when he gets to the feds, but he's waiting on the feds, but he said when he gets to the feds, but if he's waiting on the feds are coming to him, right? I don't know. He said when he gets to the feds, he's going to call her, and he doesn't want her to worry. He is coming home. So I don't understand the downstate and the waiting on the feds, and when he gets to the feds. I don't understand all of that. What does that mean? I don't know. But the call made Gabby feel better. Gabby says that Chris is in a new jail. So I guess downstate is a new jail. And the feds probably was waiting for the people to come pick him up and take him to the new jail. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. And he is going to be released the next day. So Gabby goes and meets Chris's mother and sister, and she hugs them, and she told them what Chris' friend just told her. And Gabby told the mother that she is going to the jail to pick Chris up because she thinks he is getting released tomorrow. I guess that's what the friend was trying to tell her. I didn't get that from the friend, but then again, maybe the cameras didn't show us the whole entire conversation. Okay? So they decided that Gabby and the sister was going to go get Chris the next day. Because I guess the mother couldn't make it because she was working, and she said it's going to be an all-day thing. She got to go to a hotel. She got to wait. She got to do it. So the mother said she couldn't make it. So the sister is going to go to represent the family. So the mother is talking to the camera, and she is worried that Gabby will get Chris into more trouble than he's already into. But I didn't like her saying that because the way I understand it is Chris has probably been in and out of jail all his life. I bet this is not his first time being in jail. So Chris gets in trouble all on his own without even knowing Gabby. He's been in jail. He's been in trouble before even knowing her. You know, so don't blame her for him getting in trouble. If you're saying he'll get in trouble because of her, then he can get in trouble because of any other woman or any other friend or anybody else. He's an adult. He has to learn how to control himself and how to behave himself and how to follow rules and how to live in society. Don't blame somebody else because your son gets in trouble. Even if they're together and she pisses him off or cheats on him, he is an adult and he should know how to behave. You know what I'm saying? So don't blame her for getting him in trouble. Anywho, see, I didn't like her saying that. But she did say, she said Chris and Gabby are both a handful. Um, and she said when they get together, it's going to be ugly. See, she doesn't have any faith in her son. If he gets into a situation where he can't handle what does he need to do? Turn around and walk the hell away. I know it's easier said than done, but that's what you need to do. You got to make sure you don't get yourself in trouble. Keep yourself out of trouble the best way you know how. If you're with Gabby and y'all having a fight or argument or whatever is happening, you see that, oh shoot, this can go wrong way. Turn the hell around and walk away. So you can't blame Gabby for his behavior if he does something wrong and get himself back in trouble again. You can't blame her. He is an adult and he has to realize, he has to control himself. Basically, that's it. Just control yourself. So Gabby said that she does not care what his family thinks. She is still going to be with Chris. The mother says that she hopes that Gabby will be loyal to Chris. So the next scene is we see Gabby driving in New York City. It's 16 hours before Chris's release. Gabby picks up his sister. I think her name is Essence. And they're on their way to a hotel. They get to the hotel, and in the room, it looks like the sister is rolling a joint. On camera. Because the camera people are there. But anywho. So Gabby asked her if she thinks her mother trusts her. And the sister said, no, my mom don't trust you. I don't trust you. At least she's being honest. She says that Chris makes a lot of bad judgment. See? Chris makes a lot of bad judgment. So you cannot blame Gabby if he messes up again and ends up back in jail. He's an adult. He needs to learn how to control himself. He needs to learn how to behave. The mother don't trust that he's reformed, and the sister doesn't trust that he's reformed. The sister says he makes a lot of bad judgments. So that's on him. Don't blame Gabby for that. Don't blame anybody for that. So when the sister says Chris makes a lot of bad judgment, she's including Gabby in that bad judgment. That's what I think. So the sister tells Gabby that they think she is with Chris for his money. And Gabby tells them that he sent me that money. He just put the money in the mail and sent it to me. She's saying he sent it to her and she didn't ask for it. I don't know if I believe that one, Gabby. I don't know if I believe that. So the sister says time will tell if Gabby will be loyal to Chris. And then Gabby says she didn't want Chris around his family. She said they gotta go. Gabby's something else. Last but not least, we have Hailey and Dalton. Hailey is driving. She said she just left the lawyer's office and now she's on her way to see Dalton's mother. I wish she would leave Dalton's family alone. What the hell is wrong with her? Now I'll be able to get the answers that I want, because in the beginning I was like, why is she helping them? How come she's helping them and the parents aren't helping to find a lawyer for him to help him get out of prison? Haley's paying for the lawyer. His family's not paying for the lawyer. And I was wondering why. Now I found out why. Hailey said that Dalton's family said they are not going to help him with his legal problems. That's why. Because they're not going to help him. She decided to pick the ball up and she decides to help him. And now she's bitching about it. She goes, I'm a single mother. Why am I helping up? Why do I have to provide for him? You're doing it because you want to. Nobody told you to do it, Hailey. You're doing this because this is what you want to do. And she's bitching about it. Why I got to be the one to provide for him? You don't have to provide for him. He's being provided for. He's in prison. He has roof over his head, food in his stomach, and clothes on his back. He doesn't need you to provide for him. And you don't need to pay for a lawyer for him. He's already in prison. He did the crime. Now he's doing the time. Anywho, if you're paying for a lawyer for him, Hailey, you're doing it because you want him out sooner so that he can be with you. You're doing this for yourself. So don't bitch and say, how come I'm providing for him and his parents not providing for him and I'm a single parent and they're rich and they can do it, but they don't want to do it and I have to do it. You don't have to do anything. You're doing it because you want to do it. Anywho, Yeah, the family's giving him tough love. They're saying he did the crime, he needs to do the time, and he needs to, pay for his sins or atone for his sins. But he got lucky when he met Hailey, because Hailey's giving him all her money. She's giving that man all her money. Hailey said they left it up to her to provide for Dalton. Who? Who left it up to you? Nobody told you to do this. You decided this is what you want to do. The family's giving him tough love. He did the crime, he's doing the time. She said they're leaving it up to her to provide for him. He's provided for. Let me see, what's next? So she goes to Hailey's mother's house. Nice neighborhood, nice house. And I guess that's where Dalton grew up, because he said he grew up well off. He says his family was well off. I guess the parents split up because the father is in a different home, a downgraded home, than the one that we see right now. And so she meets Dalton's mother at the door. She gives her a hug. They go inside to sit down, and they're talking. And Hailey tells the mother about the $500 incident with Dalton's ex. And Dalton's mother basically said, Hailey, I tried to tell you these things when we first met. She said, I told you that Dalton has a habit of setting his sights on women while he's away, instead of focusing on what he needs to do to change himself. She said it never ends well. And the mother said from the beginning, when Hailey told her that she was putting money on his books, she told Hailey to stop doing that. But Hailey kept doing it, and Hailey is doing it because she's trying to buy Dalton's love. When they were in, 8th grade together or middle school together, she had a crush on him, and he didn't know she exists. And now she has money, so she's spending money on him trying to buy his love. Hailey claimed that she felt torn. You don't feel torn. He asked you for money. I'm hot as heck. He asked you for money, and you gave it to him. What do you mean you felt torn? You're giving it to him because you want his attention. You want his love. You're trying to buy his love. You're not torn. You're trying to buy this man's love. That's all you're trying to do. She's talking about she felt torn. And the mother said, you should have listened to the advice everyone was giving you. Hailey said she knows she's going to do that. Yeah, she said now she knows that she's not going to do that anymore. After she's given him thousands of dollars, now she's not going to do that anymore. She's not going to put more money on his books anymore. And I think she's still going to give him money because she still wants his attention. And the mother said she don't know why all these women keep throwing themselves at her son. She says, including 3 of his ex-girlfriends, they keep throwing themselves at him, and he's a felon. That's what the mother said. And then Hailey said, Dalton said his ex gets drunk all the time, and recently she was arrested for a DWI. And she said she thinks that's where her money went. But how does he know these things? How does he know that the ex got a DWI? Did she write to him and tell him? Because nobody can call him. He has to call somebody. Right? So how does he know that? That means he's calling these women. These 3 exes that the mother is talking about, he's calling these women. You tell me they're just writing back and forth to him. And even if they're writing to him, he's writing back to them because they have to know how to put money on his books. Dalton is... So we see Dalton, right? And he's talking to the producer or the camera, and he says, Hailey sends him money when he asks her for it. He said girls contact him and put money on his books. I don't know anything about how that works. But in order for you to put money on somebody's books, don't they have to tell you how to do it? So he's in contact with these girls. He's calling these girls, and he's writing to these girls. But he's acting like these girls are just putting money on his books all willy-nilly. They have to know how to do this. They have to know some type of account number or number. They have to know. I'm thinking, can I just call up the prison and say, I need to put some money on John Doe's books. They're going to need information from me, right? More information from me. Like, I think he's talking to these girls. He's calling them. He's writing to them. And he's asking them for money. I don't think they're just putting money on his books. How do they know to put money on his books? How does he know how to put money on his books? I think he's contacting these girls. But he's saying girls are just putting money on his book randomly. And he doesn't want that. And he's saying that he called Hailey and told Hailey, tell these bitches to stop putting money on my books. Then is such an asshole, and he's a liar. I don't know who the hell he thinks he's talking to when he says that to the camera. He claims he calls Hailey and tells her to tell these bitches to leave him alone. You have to be able to be in touch with them yourself, calling them and writing to them for them to know to put money on your books and know how to do it. Dalton is full of crap. And the producer asked him, what do you do with the money that Hailey sends you? And he says, I can't tell you that. Or I don't want to talk about that. What's he doing with the money? What's going on? Back to Hailey. Hailey's crying. And she says she feels like a horrible mom. You should feel like a horrible mom. She says she doesn't have an account for her son Hendrix because she's sending money to Dalton. And nobody told you to send money to Dalton. You're doing it all on your own because you want him to love you. You're trying to buy Dalton's love. So yes, you're a horrible mom. She should feel bad. So his mom consoles her. I wouldn't console her. I will be like, you know what? It's time for brunch. I have friends coming over, or I have a tennis lesson, or, you know, I already told you not to give him money, and you keep giving him money, and now you're over here crying. What do you want from me? Is what I would tell her. I will give her tough love too, because she needs it. And I think she's still going to be giving Dalton's money. So the mother told her to stop giving Dalton's money, and if he gets upset, then kick him to the curb. But she's not going to do that. And she claims she's going to confront Dalton. What do you need to confront him for? Just don't give him any money. When he asks for money, say, I'm tapped out, I don't have it. Or say no. Don't give him any money. What are you confronting him for? He's going to manipulate her, and she's going to start giving him money all over again. Because guess what? She's weak. And she's in love with this man for some reason. Because he's good looking. He's not even that good looking. Anyway, this is the end of my review/recap. I will be back next week with another review. Princess on a Pillow here. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.